Hello, everyone, and welcome to the walkthrough of the StoryForge Beta. We put a lot of work into this, and we are very excited to share it with you. For those of you who aren't familiar with the idea of a beta, think of this as the first draft of your story that you'd share with your readers. The general idea and the concept of your story are there, but there's still a lot of work left to be done, and that's where we're at right now. We've got the core framework done, but we're still working to polish it all up for you. One note before we really get on with the tour is this provide feedback tab floating on the side of the screen here. If you have feedback for us, both good and bad, use this to send it directly to our technical team. You're possibly going to find some stuff that might not work or, not work the way you think it should. Please let us know so we can get it addressed. And you can also leave feedback on our Discord server. But if it's feedback of a technical nature, like something not working or displaying properly, use that provide feedback tab to send it directly to our tech teams. Now, this is your library that you'll be greeted with when you log in. And how great does this look? We've got more work to do, but man, it looks pretty sweet. Pretty soon you'll have your own draft the cat or other animal keeping you company from your own library. Now, I already did some tinkering with the aesthetics of my library, so when you log in for the first time, yours isn't going to look quite like this, but it could. The big yellow customize button at the top here is going to take you to where you can choose various pieces of furniture that you want to customize. There will be more items in the future, but they may cost you a few quills. Quills are our in-game currency that you'll be able to earn as you contribute to the StoryForge community. So what do you want to change? The rug? Okay. Select rug from the top bar here. You'll see the options below. If there's a plus sign, you can add to your inventory and it'll show up in your stuff. You want to get a better look at it first? Click the magnifying glass and it'll appear in the preview. That way you can make sure it works with whatever flow you've got going on before you buy it. Click the X up here and the preview screen will go back to what it was before. And whatever has the green check mark is what's going to be displayed. Now, my blue rug looks kind of cool, but I do love this fuzzy rug. So we're going to switch to the fuzzy rug. It's just that easy. Click back and you'll be back at your library. Now, let's move on to the writer's desk. This is what you've all been waiting for. So if you've got a lot of stories to look through, we have a search bar up here for you. Otherwise, you'll see your works down here below. If you're bringing over a work from another platform or uploading something from your computer, click the upload button. You'll be prompted to upload a TXT file. We will be able to accept other file types in the future, but TXT is all we have available right now. Now, if you're starting from scratch, click Create Story. This is going to take you to the screen where you can get started. The title is the only thing here that's required of outside, the story, but you do have some other options here. If you want to write a short teaser for your story, put it in the hook. And if you already have a blurb in mind, drop it in here. Now, because we want people to be comfortable with what they're reading, we do have the option to add content or trigger warnings. We will be expanding this list, but these are some of the more common ones that we wanted to have ready to get going. The genre is also optional, but we really encourage you to pick one. Potential readers might want to read a thriller, but a story titled The Empty Glass doesn't necessarily scream thriller. Or one about a character named Vivek might not seem like a ghost story, even though it might be. It'll be easier for your readers to find you if you got a genre, and if your readers can't find you, they can't read you. And then this is where you will make the actual magic happen. Here's where you do your actual writing. We have some formatting options. We have some font size options, and there are additional fonts on the way. Once you're done, go ahead and click submit. And just a note for all of you novelists and people looking to write longer series, the ability to do this in chapter form is currently slated to be added in Beta 02. So when you're done, head on back in here. So if you're ready to share it with someone, click in and click Release Manuscript. Here you can choose who you want to release it to. So nobody obviously is released to nobody. Your writer circles, those are the people that are in your particular groups. Your followers, the people who have followed and favorited your story, and then obviously the entire StoryForge community. Once you choose what you want to do, hit Release Manuscript. So if you're done writing and ready to do some reading, let's check out the reading tab. So if you know what you're looking for, whether it be by title or genre, type it in up here. There will be some suggestions waiting for you if you don't have anything specific in mind. These are going to be based on the genres you said you like when creating your profile. Click the story you're interested in, and it's going to fill the main screen. So we'll start with Jeff Blatt the Pixie. You can see a little bit more about the story, and you'll see how many reactions and comments it's gotten, as well as the blurb and the tagline. And if this sounds good, let's start reading. This is where you're going to get your content warning if there is one. As long as you're okay with the content, go ahead and click yes. If you want to try another story, click no. At the bottom of the page, you're going to see some pre-built reactions for you. Select the text that you want to react to and click the appropriate one. So we'll select this one. So a heart is something that you just absolutely love. It's your most favorite thing you've ever read. Smiley is for something that you really like. Exploding mind is when your mind just got blown. Great for if you just love the plot twist. Question mark is if you're just confused what happened here. Maybe you feel like there was a tone shift that you just didn't understand. And then the notepad is if you want to actually write a reaction. And then when you do one, it highlights like this. So if you want to hide those while you're reading, click the eye and they go away. Now down at the bottom, you'll see the arrows to turn the pages. In between those, we got another set of icons. The stars for favoriting. This logs the story in your favorites and allows you access to the forums connecting the story. Comment allows you to leave a full review of the story. This page is still under development, so we're going to skip it for now. Share button allows you to link to a story out to other users. So you can share it via links, social media, however you want. However, anyone that clicks on that link will need to log into StoryForge, and the store privileges will need to be set in a way that allows them to read that. So typically that's going to be released manuscript to all users. Now, this little newspaper guy, this lets you see previous versions of the manuscript. So do you remember something being a little bit different before? You can look at this to see the older versions confirmed. The bookmark will let you add this to a shelf if you want to come back and read it some more, but not necessarily favorite. So if you haven't created a shelf yet, we'll get back to that. And last but not least is the report flag. This will send a report to the StoryForge team if you think someone has violated the code of conduct. So let's head on out and get back to those shelves we were talking about. So click up here for my reading list, and you'll see your shelves along with any favorites that you might have. So let's create a shelf. So this is where you can create a shelf to do a variety of stories that you might like. You can set it so it can be shared with your circles, with your followers, or just private for just you. Now down here is your favorites. I don't have anything favorited yet, but if you find a story you really, really like and you want to keep reading, make sure to favorite it. You'll be able to find it quickly, and in the future, get notifications when updates have been released. Favoriting also unlocks the messaging board so that you can comment directly on the story and the author can read and reply to your comments as well. You do have limited favorites though, so choose them wisely. So on to the community, which is one that we're pretty excited about. This is what we're really hoping is going to separate StoryForge from the other writing programs. So when you load it up, you're going to start on the Ask screen. Now, if you've ever played our mini game, and if you haven't, come on now. This should feel a little bit familiar. This is eventually going to be the new home for the mini game, but it's also going to be a place for authors to ask questions of their fellow authors. So to make an ask, click Make an Ask. You have two options from here. So when asking for feedback, you can be as general or specific as you want to be. An ask is going to be similar to the mini game where it will open it up. People can give you your different answers, and then afterwards people will be able to vote on those different answers. So you do have the option to not accept answers immediately or accept answers immediately. You can also connect this directly to a work that you have shared out. So you can say, all right, I'm looking at this and I want feedback for this. What do you think? A poll is going to be similar to an ask, but the answer is going to be pre-provided by you. This is kind of a better option if you already have some ideas in mind that you just can't decide between versus sourcing complete open feedback with that ask. Now, submit is anything that is open for submissions, like the mini game was. Vote is anything that's open for voting. Close will be ones that are closed out, aren't open for submissions or voting any longer. Now, the circles are the writing groups that you can join. Here you'll see the ones I'm in with the rest of this. So I have the one with the StoryForge marketing team and the Super Dupers group. If you want to join new ones, click Discover Circles, and it'll show you what's available. You can search if you know kind of a name or genre, otherwise you'll see a list of them down below. To click one, or to join one, click Join. You'll be asked a question about why you want to join. Sometimes it'll be fun, sometimes they'll be serious. The circle owner will get your application and approve or deny. Now, if you don't see a circle you're looking for, go to My Circles. These are the circles that you are in or own, and click Create a Circle. So give your circle name, what's your circle about, and then what's your application question. So kind of like the one that we had before. How do you want to find out why someone wants to join your circle? Private ones are invite only, whereas public ones can be found via the search. Now, inside of a circle, this is one that I own. You'll see who's a member, and then you can actually remove people, ban them, or promote them within the group. You'll also see the manuscripts that are shared within this particular circle. And then there's a message board down at the bottom here, so you guys can communicate with one another. You can send major messages and then reply to those individual messages. StoryForge is not going to have a direct messaging option, so the best way to communicate with other users is through these comments, as well as the forums in the favorited stories. Now, this is your profile, and this area is a work in progress, but this is where you're going to come to view your current experience level and see other stats about you as a writer, reader, librarian, and editor. You can also update your email address and update your password from here. Later, you'll be able to change your avatar from this screen as well as a variety of other things. We do have some other things that are coming out. We are going to have an ad theater, which you can watch ads from, which sounds kind of terrible, I know, but you will get free quills, which is that in-game currency again. So, don't write it off. But otherwise, that is the beta. We know it doesn't look quite like the screenshots we've got on site, but we promise you it will soon. It's quite a big project, and we didn't want to wait any longer to let you start using it. We're hoping to provide massive updates to the site monthly, but also addressing bug fixes for the core functionality as they arise. Thank you for watching, and if you have feedback for us, make sure to either provide it in Discord or use that feedback tab for the more technical issues. Let's get writing.